Continuing with our discussion from section 2.3, let's do one more uniform motion problem. In this problem, a family drove to a beach resort at an average speed of 44 miles per hour and later returned over the same road at an average speed of 55 miles per hour. Find the distance to the resort if the total driving time was 9 hours. Well, again, this is going to be a distance rate time problem. As we know, this is the kind of problem that we write the form distance is equal to rate times time as our guiding formula. But let's take a moment right here and decide which of the two kinds of problems this is. Is this one going to be where we have a total distance, or is this going to be one where we have equal distance? That's right. This one has to be an equal distance. If you think about, we've got our beach that we've visited here, and the time that it took us to drive to the beach, the drive to the beach, and the drive from the beach are both exactly the same distance. Right? So this is going to be the kind of problem in which distance 1 is equal to distance 2. All right, so that means that whatever we come up with, we're going to have to put in those terms. All right, so this would be a good spot for us to insert a little bit of a table here to help us organize our efforts. So we organize our rate times time is equal to distance problem. In this case, we have the trip to the beach, and of course we have our trip from the beach. So let's figure out what's going on where. Okay, we know something about the rates. We know that on our trip to the beach we had an average speed of 44 miles per hour. When we say average speed, we're going to say just over the entire trip. We might have gone faster, we might have gone slower, but overall we could compute our time, our distance, whatever it is, based on that 44 miles per hour. So don't bother about trying to figure out averages of any of these two speeds. It doesn't matter. Same deal on the ride from the beach. It took us an average of 55 miles per hour traveling. What do we know about the time? Well, I'm not sure about our times on each leg of the trip. However, I do know there was a total driving time. So this we can treat a little bit differently. Now, we would say, well, our total time was 9 hours. Right? So we don't know how much time they spent on the trip on part 1. But whatever part we spent on trip 1, we would subtract that time from 9 hours to get the trip part 2. Okay, so now we can use our formula. We say rate times time is equal to distance. So on our trip 2, we went 44 times T1 miles. How about the trip from? Well, on our trip from, we took 55 miles per hour for a time of 9 minus T1. Okay? And when we put those two things together, we get our distance, both to and from. So this allows us to set it up so that we're solving for 44t is equal to 55 times 9 minus t as our driving distance each way. All right, so let's solve for t first. When we work this through, let's get our numbers to work out. 44 times t is equal to 55 times 9. I've worked that out. 55 times 9 is exactly 495 minus 55 t. Well, what else do we know here? Well, I suppose we're going to have to combine our like terms, so let's go ahead and add 55t to both sides to gather our like t terms to one side of the equation. So add 55t here, add 55t here. We get 99 times t is equal to 495 and 95. So now we need to isolate t, so we need to divide both sides by 99. Divide by 99. And we get t is equal to, let's see, 99 into 495 happens to be exactly 5. Why? Well, again, you can do this off to the side to verify for yourself, but 99 times 5, 9 times 5 is 45. Bring up the 4. 9 times 5 is 45, plus 4 is 49. 495. So verify that for yourself. T equals 5. Well, so that's t equals 5 hours. Okay, so the question is, did we just answer the question? Well, not quite yet. It said find the distance. Right? Always look for that question. What are we actually being asked? We're being asked for the distance. Well, we could find the distance in one of two ways, but let's go to the easiest one. The distance will be found by taking our average speed times our time on the trip to 44 times 5. Well, 44 times 5. 4 times 5 is 20. Bring the 2. That's 220. So our trip should be 220 miles.